Some people have asked me which one is more fun, the Emira or the Miata. Guys, I'm kind of stupid. So when I first picked up the car, in that initial video, I mentioned I wish I could have gotten the British Racing Green with the tan leather interior for the 35th edition, which is the rumor right now. And then I remembered I'm fucking colorblind and I can't see red very well. So I actually wear these colorblind sunglasses. They're from Enchroma. I bought them back in, I don't know, 2018 or maybe 2019. And they are kind of pricey. I think I paid like 300 bucks for them. No affiliation, but they actually allow me to see this color in all its glory, and holy shit, this is a gorgeous red. It's so much more bright and vibrant than what I normally see. Imagine turning down the brightness and the saturation. That's what it normally looks like to me. That's what reds in general look like to me. The way colorblindness works, about 8% of men are colorblind, 0.5% of women, because it is a X-linked recessive trait. And out of those 8% men, about half of them have issues with their green cones, and a smaller percentage have issues with their red cones. Now, I'm lucky that the color blindness I have is the perfect type to appreciate red with these sunglasses. These sunglasses are most effective for my type of color blindness. And if you want to see what I see, I found this website, this blog. This guy used a Photoshop plugin to compare what he sees versus normal vision people. And he and I probably have the same exact type of color blindness because both sides of the images look the same to me. But anyways, linked in the description. So for those who want to know a little bit more, there is a prefix and a suffix to colorblindness. There's the proto and the deutero, as the prefix proto for red, deutero for green, and then anopia and anomaly at the end, which indicates either a lack of those cones entirely or just a presence but dysfunction. So I have protanomaly, meaning red cones are dysfunctional. I put on these sunglasses and amazing, I can see this stuff. Some people say that sucks. I say it's fucking awesome because you are used to seeing red the way you normally do. People like me, we put on these glasses and we have this temporary, not always on HD that allows us to appreciate colors even more. Then there's deutero. So deutero green anomaly. So if you had deutero anomaly, you'd have green cones that are dysfunctional. And deuteranopia, you would have green cones that are not even present. So when you look at greens, they would be very dark. They may be black or gray. And same thing if you had protanopia, and you would have very dark black or gray when you look at reds. Anyways, enough of that. The car is awesome. I've had it for about a week, put about 120 miles on it, trying to get to that 600 mile break-in as soon as possible. And color, styling, I'm a big fan. I think out of all the Miatas, this is my favorite. My second favorite being the NA, just because of the pop-up headlights and classic looks. It has that kind of cute, aggressive vibe going on, which I personally don't mind. BBS wheels in black look great with the red Brembos. Now, you actually only get larger calipers. The rotors are the same size, whether or not you get the BBS package or not. And the rear brakes don't get changed at all, of course. I will not be doing PPF on this because I want to have a car that I don't feel the need to baby, and I have my Emira for that, you know? So I want to be able to enjoy this car, and it's going to get some rock chips. It's going to get scuffed up a little bit here and there on the track, and that's okay. I want this to be the car that I can really beat on and not have to baby and just enjoy for the sake of enjoyment. But I have a lot of updates and questions for you guys already. The Miata community, even in that first video, is amazing to see. Getting into the interior, glad we got these Recaros, which are definitely the right call if you want to do more spirited driving and daily duty, because they offer a good balance between comfort and support. So happy with that. Still a little bit salty that they don't have climate control or the auto headlights on a car this price, but again, not the point of this car. So a few issues that I need your help with. Number one is where to put my phone. I tried putting it here with the USB-C cable. This thing is a curved surface, so the phone just slides around. And, well, I haven't driven the car very hard because it's still on break-in, so I haven't actually had the phone slide out yet, although I know it likely would. The bigger issue is this cable here. When you're shifting into third or fifth, this gets in the way. So what I've been doing now is putting the cup holder and just laying my phone there, which is obviously not ideal as well. What I like and what I've done in other cars is using a magnetic wireless charger, like a MagSafe puck, and then mounting that, you know, somewhere over here or someplace. So if you guys have some recommendations for that, I would very much appreciate. The other thing is I'm 6'1", 175, 180 pounds. I'm just on the upper limit of who fits. So if I actually push my seat into the optimal ideal position for me, my head has only like a finger and a half between my head and the actual roof line over the top up. So what I have to do is I move my seat a little bit forward and then lean the backrest back slightly, and that of course lowers my head a little bit so I have more room, but then my feet are a little bit cramped. But the nice thing in the ND is they spent a lot of time and effort actually optimizing the packaging for the cabin. So even the footwell for both right-hand drive and left-hand drive vehicles is symmetric, and they don't compromise the pedal placement at all in a car this small, which is amazing. My Amira definitely is highly compromised with pedal placement, but I feel like any mid-engine car that has double wishbone in the front, I've yet to be in one that does not have a compromised pedal placement. Maybe that McLaren actually, but that was auto, obviously not manual, so you can't really comment on the clutch placement. Now the driver's cup holder is normally here, and the passengers can either be here or here, but the annoying thing is, I guess based on my body type, anytime I want to use this wheel, either the volume or the main control wheel, I would keep hitting that with my elbow. So I just removed it and I'm leaving it at home. I don't really need a cup holder in the car. Because of the seat positioning issues, I'm definitely going to be getting a seat lowering bracket, and there are 3 main ones on the market. If you guys have recommendations of choosing one over the other, then let me know with a comment below. I am actually very much digging the wider infotainment with the thinner bezels. It definitely modernizes the car, and I'm happy with that. Although when you're driving, you can't use touchscreen, and I thought that newer Mazdas had a setting where you could enable touchscreen on CarPlay while moving, but I haven't been able to find that, which is a bit annoying. And I don't mind using this, but in the Mazda CX-50 that I have, the screen is a little bit further, and that button is placed a little bit more ergonomically, whereas here, again, I have to like really push my elbow back, and I start getting into the bolstering here. So I wish I could just touch, since this is not as ergonomically placed, and the screen is so close. But anyways, if you guys have any fixes for that, or if it is in the settings, then please do let me know. The first mod I'm eager to do is exhaust, because the more cars I drive, the more I appreciate the importance of an engine note and the way it makes you feel as you push it. I think when I first started this review channel back with the Scion FRS, I was like, well, hey guys, handling is more important, which of course I had to believe, otherwise I wouldn't have been happy with the FRS. And I still do believe that, but I'm appreciating engine note more and more. So looking at maybe the Hush-O-Matic, assuming that still works with the ND3, since you can control the level of sound coming out from the actual windshield wiper adjustment. The other one that's been recommended to me by the Topher actually is Roadster Sport, and I've seen his videos with that. It sounds fantastic. I'm just concerned that it might be too loud and droney perhaps on daily use and on the highway. I don't know actually. I need to watch more videos, do more research. If you guys have recommendations for me, I don't want an exhaust that's too loud, but I do want more character, some sportiness, and I am going to be tracking this at many places, including Laguna Seca, so it definitely can't be too loud. Coilovers are going to be the next mod after that, and again, open to suggestions. I'm looking at MCS, Öhlins, Zetas. Those are the 3 top contenders right now. I need to do more research, and again, if you guys have suggestions, please let me know below. Man, this transmission is so good. So good. I drove an NC3 over this weekend, comparing it to a modified ND3, and I really appreciate how Mazda focused on the fundamentals here. They lightened this car. When do you ever see a newer car being lighter than the previous gen? That's just amazing to see in 2024, or rather, I guess 2016 when the ND first came out. And They also focus on just making this feel a little bit more connected, a little bit more natural. You get better chassis feedback, a little bit better steering. Well, not better steering feedback, but at least right off center, it is more confidence inspiring in this car, whereas the amplitude of the feedback in the NC is greater, but then you have this kind of vagueness right off center in that vehicle. Another thing is I'll be getting tint on the vehicle. First tint, and then I'll be installing dash cams, because I do that in all my cars. And for those who know me in real life, you know that I am very diligent about my sun protection. Don't want to get skin cancer. For those who don't know, I was doing plastic surgery in a prior life. You can learn more about that on my other YouTube channels, Kevin Jubal MD, or Med School Insiders, or my personal website, kevinjubalmd.com. And I was that guy in med school that had the pasty white sunscreen whenever we went on hikes, and if you look at the photos, I was just the one guy that kind of stuck out. But that was my priority, right? After seeing enough skin cancer, I said, I don't ever want that. So a convertible doesn't quite make sense for someone like me, you might think initially, but I do like the convertible experience. I'm just gonna be prioritizing driving it later in the day, like right now when the UV index is 2 and lower, or early in the morning or at night. But during the day, I don't know how people drive with the top down, especially out here in Las Vegas. The other thing that's kind of weird is the throttle response feels a little bit slow, a little bit not as immediate as say the Amira. In the Amira, you can rev match downshift in any gear, heel toe it, double clutch it. Anything in sport mode feels incredibly natural. They fixed whatever throttle response issue there was in the Evora. But here I'm finding myself needing to blip extra hard. I'm oftentimes under revving on the rev matches, so maybe with the tune in the future, I can address that, or I'll just get used to it from driving the car a little bit more. But man, this transmission is such money. So good. So yeah, going back to tint, I'm getting tint primarily for the UV protection and also the heat rejection benefits with ceramic tint in particular. But I think having a convertible, and sometimes I will have the windows up with the top down, like I do right now because of the wind noise, having dark tint would be kind of silly. So I'll do 80% on the windshield, which is essentially clear, you can't even tell. And that's again just for the UV and more importantly the heat protection. And for the sides, I'm thinking it definitely won't be anything darker than 35, but I might even go higher than that. I might do 50, I might do, again, 70 or 80 on the sides, I don't know. Never had a convertible before that I've tinted, so if you guys have any suggestions there, would love to hear them below. Interior-wise, I'm pretty happy, other than the phone mount and the seat lowering bracket. They made the ND so much more upscale than any other prior Miata. And it's very livable, it's very comfortable. You don't feel like you're compromising much by being here. And they even did the packaging in such a way that at 6'1", I feel like I have enough room. As a passenger, maybe not as much, but at 6'1", 180 pounds, I definitely feel comfortable here. With the seat lowering bracket, I'll be in just the right position, I'm hoping. We'll also have to get the roll bar, obviously, for track work. Planning on tracking this in the very near future. So there is Hard Dog and Blackbird, I believe, are the two main brands. And I've heard mixed things as to which one you should do. I will not be installing it myself, so would appreciate your guys' suggestions, but keep in mind the install, I don't necessarily prioritize how easy or difficult the install is because I'm going to be having a shop do it. It's just not worth. I heard a lot of people tell me it takes like 9 hours, and I just don't want to spend 9 hours of my time doing that. I also love that they have the exterior paint color here at the top of the doors on the inside, because it lets me appreciate this gorgeous color, especially when I'm wearing my colorblind sunglasses, which, by the way, they only work during the day, so at night, you can't use them. You can't, even if you do wear them, colors will not look enhanced. Very cool touch that is polarizing to some people, but it lets me enjoy that paint color a bit more than I normally would. Some people have asked me which one is more fun, the Emira or the Miata. They're quite different vehicles and quite different experiences. Right now, I'm enjoying the Emira more than this, but this is in break-in. And I think once this is past break-in and I'm redlining it everywhere, and more importantly, taking it on sharper, more technical, slower roads, slower canyon roads that are really windy, I think this will really shine there. The Emira being 3,100 pounds and 400 horsepower needs, it still is fine on the tighter roads. It's no Corvette C8, for example, but just the weight savings alone on this thing being 2,300 pounds and so light and so tossable, this really excels on tight, bumpy canyon roads. Going back to exhaust, some people have told me that by getting a catless mid-pipe, you can actually increase the power. So when it comes to exhaust, I need to find something that would work well with that mid-pipe so that it doesn't sound too harsh or too loud. My CX-50 was my daily driver before, but I want to hit break-in as soon as possible on this. And unless I'm going to Costco or taking my bike somewhere, which I fit in the back of the CX-50, or picking up some larger packages from my local UPS store, I'm just driving this thing. And a friend was telling me that, hey, that makes sense because it actually has the best fuel efficiency, which I thought was pretty funny. And why is that guy not going when it's a green arrow? Vegas, baby. And the last thing I want to address is that some people have commented on that first video and they may believe that YouTube has allowed me to purchase this vehicle. Unfortunately, I'm still losing money with every video that we publish, but I do want to thank everyone who has been watching and is subscribed, because thanks to you guys, we're at least making $1,100 per month, and our break-even point is right around $2,300, so almost halfway there. And with this car, the primary reason I chose the ND3 over the S2000 was because of the use case, where this needs to be comfortable as a daily as well as for track use. I want to be using it in that capacity. But part of it too is saying, hey, will this help the YouTube channel as well, since it's a newer, more relevant car? And will we get hopefully more viewers, more subscribers? Will the channel grow faster in the next year as a result, as I modify this and share my experience? So anyways, I want to thank all you guys who have been commenting on the last video. I've read every single comment, love the insights and the comments there, and just like the passion from the Miata community. It is one of the best communities of any vehicle type. And my friends, much love. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future, especially with this Miata, and I'll see you all in the next one.